So good morning and Happy New Year, and welcome to the Sunday service for the Center for Spiritual Living, Space Coast. My name is Reverend Dr. Ron Fox, and I welcome everybody watching this. And if there's somebody watching who's never been to a Center for Spiritual Living, we believe there's one God, many paths to that God, and we're here to love, honor, and support you no matter what your divine path is. And this Center for Spiritual Living, Space Coast is a safe haven for people of all beliefs and lifestyles, whoever you are and wherever you find yourself on your journey of faith, you're welcome here. We're going to do a little bit different service this morning, but to open us, Reverend Jenna is going to open us with a prayer, and then I'll do a reading, and then we'll explain what the service will be like this morning. So Reverend Jenna, you're up.
I breathe into this moment, recognizing that I am breathing anew into this very sacred, special moment. With each breath, I breathe in the divine, I breathe in the source, and I breathe in creation into my reality, into my life, so that I might create every day a new me, a new experience, one that walks closely with the divine, one that releases old limitations and fears and doubts and insecurities and habits and behaviors that deny my full experience of spirit. I release those as I breathe out, and I breathe in that creative principle that flows through me right here, right now, creating a new moment, creating a new tomorrow. And I bless this sacred moment. I bless this moment that is creating a new awareness within me, a new openness within my heart, and a new understanding of the world in which I live. I bless each and every person here who is a part of that creation, a part of that story, a part of that experience. And I bless Reverend Ron and Becky Fox, both of them who are here to help create with me a new story, to help me and each and every one of us release the past, release the old, and embrace the truth that we are walking with the divine, that we are expressions of love and light, of peace, of wholeness, and that as each of us takes step into this truth, we make manifest on this world a kinder, more loving place in which all humanity may live. For all of this, I do give thanks as I release my word into the law of life, knowing that it is done as I speak, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. So my reading this morning is from Experiencing the Beacon Within, which I have written. And the title of the reading is Tell It Like It Could Be. Every day, life gives us an opportunity to live our dreams. We can use our spiritual power to create heaven on earth for ourselves. What we think, believe, and say today is the life we are creating for tomorrow. We must focus on what we wish to experience, because focusing on what we don't want will never manifest what we do want. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of a principle which itself is without limit," unquote. The only thing that caps our experience of all the good that is available to us is our own belief system. If we believe we will only receive a little, that is what the universe provides. But as our faith and belief expand, so does our demonstration. Releasing old beliefs is not easy. It takes work, hard work, to transform ourselves. But the good news is that it can be done. With dedication and persistence, we can release limiting beliefs and see life differently. We are never bound by what has come before, and it is never too late to begin. In the Tao, it is written, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. When I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. Why not step up and give it a try today? So this morning, we're going to do what we call a melting bowl service. It's going to be a time of reflection, renewal, and release. And so to prepare, you might want to turn off your cell phones, make time just to be present, let go of any distractions, and you might even want to light a candle as a part of the ritual. The first part of our service today is an opportunity to see what you would like to release, such as beliefs that are no longer suitable or habits that you would like to put in the rearview mirror. Some of you may have participated in burning bowl ceremonies before, but today we'll be using the cleansing element of water rather than fire. So what will you need? Paper. If you don't have the special paper that we mailed out, any piece of paper will do, and Becky will explain that to you. A cup of water, if you do have the paper we mailed out, and something to write with. So now I'm going to turn it over to my wife, Becky, who's a practitioner emeritus, to begin the first part of our service.
So this morning's ceremony, the melting bowl ceremony, is based on a burning bowl ceremony by Ian Ellis Jones. And I'd like to begin with a quote by the late minister, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, who once wrote, "There is a spiritual giant within you, which is always struggling to burst its way out of the prison you have made for it." And so the melting bowl ceremony is just one of a number of popular rites of renewals performed in many New Thought centers. This ritual is a time for us to let go of anything that's holding us back, especially bad habits, negative thoughts and emotions, and unhealthy relationships. Life is, or at least it ought to be, a process of letting go and letting. Call it a divine rhythm, if you wish. It's also a rhythm of the universe, rhythm of life. So what we need to do, we need to continually let go of negative beliefs, destructive emotions, unhealthy relationships, as well as any tendency to resist change. We need to continually let the spirit of life take over in us, to fill us with new life, to recreate us in mind and body. So in the melting bowl ceremony, we write down on a piece of paper exactly what we wish to let go. And it could be a number of things. You know, it may be old habits that no longer serve us, some mistake or regret from the past, or maybe it's a limiting thought of our own worth or a fear of some kind. Then we'll dissolve the paper in a bowl of warm water. In religions and cultures around the world, water is symbolic of purification, healing, transformation, growth, rebirth, and destruction. And watching this paper dissolve in water is a powerful way of releasing, cleansing, and just washing away whatever it is that is no longer serving us. as well as whatever is holding us back. And so for those of you who didn't receive this water soluble paper, just use regular paper, because the tearing up of this paper is an outward expression of that inward experience. And it's such a wonderful kinesthetic outlet for releasing that energy that's coming with those emotions. And there's also something very symbolic about tearing the paper. It's the act of destruction. It's destroying a past event, negative thoughts or behaviors. It's a letting go of what was into a new transformation of what can be. So, something else that you can do with, after you tear up these pieces of paper, make a collage out of them. You can glue them to a surface. You can write affirmations on top of those pieces of paper. You can paint beautiful colors over them. You can also glue some images over them of what it is that you want your life to be like. I mean, there's a lot of different creative things that you can do with these pieces of paper, or just, create another ritual, just burn them in your fireplace or whatever. So here are some questions designed to help you clarify what you want changed in your life. Remember, it's entirely up to you. You've got to do the work, especially the mental work. And nothing will happen unless you really, really want it to. In other words, in the words of Emerson, who wrote, "Do the thing and you shall have the power." So what is it that you want to get rid of in your life? What do you want cleansed? So one area of concern might be health. Are you currently facing a health challenge? Is it physical, emotional, or spiritual? In the case of relationships, are you stuck in some codependent relationship that is only harming you as well as the other person? Could be your home. What do you desire different in your home? Less conflict and friction? How about less noise? Less clutter and junk? How about more space? In the area of finances, do you have money worries? So how might you create more peace for yourself around these finances, these money worries? Another area could be work or school. What do you want to be different? And leisure time. What's preventing you from enjoying your leisure time and contentment? So remember, you do have the power. Actually, you've got the responsibility to make the better choices to have a happier life. Now that the old year has passed us, so we must move on. Before you write down what you would like to release, we're going to begin with just a short prayer. And when you hear the bell at the end of the prayer, you can begin to write. And when you're ready to dissolve the papers or to tear them up, say an affirmation of release to yourself. And as you're watching the paper dissolve or the paper tearing apart, really feel that sense of release. You can say to yourself, I am free. I am unlimited. I am ready to move on. And it can also be an act of forgiving someone. And you can say to yourself, I fully and freely forgive whoever it may be. I release them and let them go. He or she is free now, and I am free also. Okay. So I just invite each one of you to close your eyes, to quiet your mind, and take in a few deep breaths in and out. The breath of divine spirit is breathing its life through, as, and for each one of us. It is all-knowing, all-powerful, and everywhere present. And in this sacred space, I open my heart and acknowledge the oneness of spirit within me, as well as within everyone and everything, seen and unseen. Knowing this truth, I speak my word for all. In this moment, divine spirit is opening the way for each of us to release what no longer serves, whether it's a belief, behavior, relationship, limitation, or fear. I turn away from confusion and let peace surround me. I let go of self-doubt and allow clarity and certainty to guide me. I walk through fear to the other side of strength, courage, and faith. I see the broader view of my life with spirit's wisdom and love. Right now is the beginning of a new moment, a new life unfolding in divine perfection. I'm grateful in knowing this for each person present here. And as I now release this prayer, it is ready to be expressed according to the law of spirit. And so it is.
So give you about another 30 seconds and then we'll begin part two. You can't go. No. So we're now going to move in to part two of the service, which is setting intentions. In the Bible, in Romans, it is written, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Ernest Holmes explained that by writing, "Today, we know what this means. The renewing of the mind is a scientific act. As the conscious thought pours truth into the subjective channel of creative energy, the body is automatically renewed. This is mental healing. And it goes on to say, mental healing is a conscious act. Instead of the old concept of disease and failure, we are to inject those of liberty, freedom, health, harmony, and success. So in this part of the service, we'll be giving you information which will help you write a letter with your intentions for 2022. So you might ask, what's the difference between the normal New Year's resolutions most people write or say that they're going to do, or intentions? So one of the differences is that resolutions are usually very specific and difficult to continue because they're so specific. So very often by the end of the month, we've forgotten all about them. Resolutions focus on the outcome and not the journey. So let me give you a couple of definitions of intentions. Wayne Dyer wrote a book on intentions, and he uses the definition that an intention is a strong purpose or aim accompanied by a determination to produce a desired result. And another definition that I saw that I really resonated with is by a psychologist named Diana Rabb. She says, an intention is something you want to manifest in your life or some guiding principle that you want to live by. She describes them as the beginning of a dream or desire that you want for yourself. So let me give you a couple of examples of what an intention might be, as suggested by Maria Formoli. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Make healthy choices. Do things that make you happy. Be good to people. Be kind. Get your finances in order. Spend time with friends or family. Volunteer. So those are a few. And now I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Jenna, who'll begin the second part of our service.
So now that we've had the opportunity to let go of 2021, let us take the opportunity to identify what 2022 holds for us. So we're going to go into a meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable. Close your eyes and settle back into the couch or the chair, whatever you're sitting on. And begin taking slow, deep inhalations. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, allowing your body to become relaxed as you breathe in and breathe out. Feel your whole body just melt into your chair as you relax ever so deeply, just letting go. Letting all tension just fade away as you keep breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you to imagine, visualize, or know that you're at the beach alongside the ocean, and you can hear the sound of the ocean waves, soft and gentle on the shore. And you can feel the air as it crosses your face. It's warm, not too hot. It feels comfortable as it breezes across your face. And as you look to the right and you look to the left, you realize you're on a beautiful, secluded beach. There's no one there, just you. And you watch the sparkling waves come onto the shore and the white foam disappearing into the wet sand, reflecting the sun. And the sun shimmers on the water, and you breathe in the perfect ocean air with that slight scent of salt. You might even be able to taste the salt on your lips. The air is so healing and refreshing, and you bask in this energy. And you may notice above you are 5 seagulls flying overhead. And as I count each one from 5 down to 1, you find yourself relaxing deeper and deeper. 5, feeling more and more relaxed with each word I say. Down to 4, more relaxed with each breath you take. You release any tension. 3, you hear the booming sound of the waves coming into the shore, and then soothing silence, peace. 2, the sound of the seagulls are now in the distance, and you're feeling more and more relaxed, so at peace. And down to 1, so serene. You begin to stroll along the shore, feeling the warm, damp sand under your feet as you walk. And as you're walking, you notice up ahead, you see someone walking towards you. And as it gets closer to you, you realize this is your future self walking towards you. This is your future self as of January 1st, 2023. You notice this future self looks happy, is ever so healthy, and strides with the confidence, and has a brilliant, wide smile upon their face. This is you in January 1st, 2023. And the closer your future self gets to you, you notice the strength and confidence. You notice the joy they radiate. You can feel the energy of love that your future self has for you. And they're close enough now, you can see that love in their eyes. You know that your future self wants only the very best for you and is really grateful that you have led them to health and happiness. Your future self now puts their arms around you and gives you a warm and comforting hug. Take time to feel their heartbeat against yours, their essence and their love permeating you now. And your future self is excited and begins to share with you all the great experiences that you had in 2022. They share your intentions and how you achieved them and what you did to make it happen. They share what they see what they hear, and what they felt when each intention was achieved. And as they do so, it comes alive in your mind. And as we move into silence, listen to every word, every feeling, every thought they wish to share with you about 2022. Now it's time to thank your future self for all that they have shared with you. And know that your future self may be leaving to walk back down the beach, but it will continue communicating with you and sharing with you all the experiences that you're about to look forward to. So just take the time to feel the joy and gratitude at having such a marvelous year, 2022, with all its wonderful adventures waiting for you. And now it's your turn to turn and walk back down the beach, carrying this sense of joy and excitement with you as you walk back to now. And because you know 2022 is going to be so exciting, you are excited to return to your pen and paper to write down all that you have to look forward to in 2022. So when you feel ready to return to the now, to this moment, just pick up your paper and jot down what you recall, because you'll be using that to write a letter for yourself to read next year at this time. And you want to remember what your intention is, what you'll see when accomplished, and what you'll hear when accomplished, and what you'll feel when accomplished. For those feelings will create more power to your vision and your intention. So when you're ready, take time to pick up the paper and jot down what you recall. And you'll have a minute to do that. Have about 30 more seconds. You can keep writing if you need to, but I'd like to share the next step. The next step would be to write a letter to yourself, address it December 31st, 2022, the end of the year, and list your intentions. What are your intentions and what you're going to see as you accomplish these intentions, and what you hear along the way and when they're accomplished, and what you will feel. List that for every intention. And then at the end of your letter, you may want to write a statement of your own. What I wrote for mine was, I feel such joy and gratitude at what I've accomplished for this past year in 2022, and I look forward to 2023. And then you will sign your letter. You will put it in a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then put that into another envelope with a stamp on it and mail it to Reverend Dr. Ron Fox. And I'll give you his address, except for I don't have it. So Ron, can you give them your address? Ron, will you?
7400 North Highway 1, number 102, Cocoa, Florida, 32927.
And then this time next year, or the end of December of next year, Ron will mail back to you your self-addressed stamped envelope so that you can look at what you wrote and see how much you've accomplished.